Hi there. Just waiting to see who comes. Say hi to me if you see this. Welcome, everyone. I see some of you finding me already. Say hi to me in the comments. How are you feeling today? Today, we're talking on behalf of Archangel Sandalphon. Hi, Angela. Good. I can see you guys. That means you can see me, hear me. Hi, Leilani. Good to see you guys. So yesterday, we hung out with Archangel Metatron, and Metatron had some good wisdom about initiations and the heart initiation, and how his overriding message was really about patience and silence and allowing yourself to wait until further instruction. And so today it was Archangel Sandalphon who wanted to come and play with you. And Archangel Sandalphon is someone who is, I think more popularly known as the angel of answered prayers, and answering your prayers. And so when you call on a Sandalphon, you can kind of gives your intentions and your prayers a super boost. So just mental note that if you are in the throes of really bringing in something new, to really call on Sandalphon as well. So one of the stories around Sandalphon is that he was a human first and then ascended, became an archangel because he was such a badass. And what this means on Sandalphon's behalf is that he's one of the few archangels that understands the human experience. And so they often associate him with the earth realm. And if you're doing like a formal banishing ritual or angel ritual, he's associated with the place that protects under your feet. And so if you've read any of my books, I talked about an angelic banishing ritual in my last book, Angel Wealth Magic. And Sandalphon held the position beneath us. And the element that he wanted me to talk about was fire. Yesterday, we talked a little bit about water, right? And that the waters were polluted. And so he's kind of literally going to light a fire under our asses today. And give you some wisdom to help pursue your dreams. And earlier this morning in the Love Fest Facebook group, I put a post about, what are you manifesting and what gets in your way? And with the comments I was able to read, I saw a lot of people working on spiritual business stuff or working on having their own business and kind of running into some roadblocks, whether it's confidence or just having fear or getting clear. And there's a lot of roadblocks that gets in our way when we're finally taking action steps to pursue our dreams. And thank you, Lori. Oh, I'm glad you loved the replay yesterday. And I read through so many of your comments. I loved the takeaways that you got from that. Please let us know in the chat room when you hear something that really rings true. Post it in the Facebook group. Repeat it in the Facebook group for yourself, and also so others can kind of see it along the way and reflect and agree with you. So I realized this morning, I'm always the last to know, that we are in the Lion's Gate still. So the Lion's Gate is kind of been popularized in certain spiritual communities as a powerful time for manifesting. And so I think it's wonderful that Sandalphon's coming through today, because he is a manifesting angel and helps you manifest. When I asked him specifically what he wanted to talk to you about, he wanted to give you a key component to your manifesting work. And something I want to say about the Lion's Gate is that there's a special star alignment that comes with it. And I love that it's called the lion, because yes, in yesterday's card, we saw a lion in that card. And so it was like a wink, wink from the old Lion's Gate to remember this is a wonderful time for manifesting. So when people speak about manifesting, what do you think about? Like, I think about a lot of cliches. I think about intention setting or collage making, um, writing stuff down, those kinds of things. And what was awesome about what Sandalphon had to say was that many folks are forgetting about the key ingredients. And one of those ingredients is taking action. And so yesterday we talked about the power of silence and patience. Today he's talking about activity. And so yesterday he gave us a clue on how important it is to be silent for long enough to be able to hear the instruction. But the next step is actually taking steps based on what you hear. So a lot of you find yourself in a stuck place because you're hearing what to do. You just have a resistance to what to do or confusion around what to do. And Carolyn's saying, I feel guilt about manifesting. I'll have ideas and then feel guilty about following up and receiving them. Again, these little traps are, I like to think of them as little demons along the way that you can choose to listen to, or you can choose to dance with, as opposed to slay. Because I found that my demons don't necessarily disappear. They come back, especially when I'm making power moves, new moves in your life. So if you guys are getting, if you're getting taken down a little bit with confusion or this lack of whatever it is, passion, fear, it's just part of the gargoyles along the way when it comes to pursuing more joy, more love, more happiness, and your mission. So let me know what your questions are around manifesting, or maybe you have a struggle around manifesting. Let us know in the chat room about that. But I'm just going to have to say the one thing that really stops us from moving forward in our manifesting is fear. Because fear can manifest in a lot of different ways, and sometimes it doesn't even look like fear. Sometimes fear manifests in confusion, and guilt and shame also stop us, especially if we're heart-centered people. Speaking of which, Sandalphon really wanted to lean in on you if you're one of those super nice people, but have some dreams that are bigger or different than most people in your community. Folks like you are at most risk of not pursuing your dreams because you don't want to stick your neck out. You don't want to be controversial. You don't want to kind of stand out in a crowd. Like all of those things might be a little repulsive. However, your soul's work is your soul's work. And he really wanted to say to all of us here that the voices that are the loudest are the ones that get heard. And when you think about who the loudest voices on the planet are right now, how many of them are toxic voices versus how many of them are voices that are bringing us closer to wisdom, closer to love, and that are being bridge makers? How many of those voices are seeding poison in our minds, trying to divide us? And how many of those voices are working to unite us? And so often the unifiers are the most humble. They're more pensive than most. They're seeing, but have a hard time igniting the fire to be fucking fierce. Somehow the complainers don't have a problem. The liars don't have a problem seeding distrust. But where are the good voices? For example, when I hear folks speak on Christianity and their philosophies publicly about it on social media, who's consuming the airwaves when it comes to the word of Jesus? Is it the Christian nationalists slash, gonna have to say it, white supremacists that are wrapping themselves in Jesus's words to pursue inequity and to take rights away? Is it those people? Or is it the actual Christians who believe in love and are non-judgmental and love people even if they're different from them? They don't try to hate on them. Where are the good Christians in this conversation? I want to know personally. And I tell you where they are. They're praying. They're not speaking as much. And if Jesus needs any voices out there right now, it's the folks who are full of love and just want everyone to get along and listen to each other. Listen to each other's points, receive each other's medicine, as opposed to pretend like if you don't believe in what I believe, you're somehow poison. So this is taking me to my point about how Sandalphon wants to ignite the fire of the beautiful voices out there that have beautiful things to say about bridge making, about healing, about hope, about inspiration, about love. Those are Jesus's fundamentals. Those are everyone's fundamentals across the world. It's not just a Christian thing. Love exists in all philosophies, from our indigenous brothers and sisters to our religious brothers and sisters. And so how can we be voices for that which we know to be true and speak out? And part of that is our heart's work. So when I was reading this post about what are you manifesting, like I said, so many people have these heart-centered businesses. They want to share their love, their medicine, and all those good things, but they have those sneaky demons. They have those little blocks. And a lot of these blocks are about our own willingness to share our voice with who we are and what medicine we have to offer. And so one of the reasons why Sandalphon wanted me to talk about fear and where it comes from, he says manifesting is only part intention. The rest is sacred action, which we know. But this fear comes from our own biology, right? The reptilian part of our brain that wants to go into fight or flight every time we sense danger, even if we know it's not fatal danger. There's a part of our brain that tells us it's going to be fatal. So it keeps us back. It distracts us. It gets us into self-sabotage, confusion, and all of those things that stop us from moving forward. But this fear also comes, it's not just biology, it comes from the rules. It comes from the rules that your family set for you and the rules that our culture set for us about what's possible for us. If we're women, if we're people of color, if we're not doctors and lawyers and not these things. I mean, so part of this soul mission is awakening up in all of us. And a lot of us are being called to spiritual things, to want to support each other in kind of spiritual ways. And we don't often know people in our lives that are doing this work. Therefore, it feels like a fatal threat to our system. Or some of us come from really closed-minded belief systems. Our families have closed-minded belief systems. They think spiritual work is evil. And so that keeps us in our shell. But I'm here to tell you, we are not in a place in the world where it's allowed anymore to stay in the shell, because silence, when taken too far, can be deadly to other people who are the vulnerable and who are being preyed against by these loud, stinky voices. So we need more protectors out there, and those protectors are the ones with the hearts. People like you. So no more being in the shell. So, whose rules are you playing by if you're afraid to start this business that seems a little controversial, seems a little impractical? So, I'm going to talk real quick about your soul mission and your deeper, more medicine work if you're dreaming about this business, but it just hasn't quite got legs, or if you want to take your soul business to the next level. Um, this mission oriented stuff lives only inside of us. It doesn't live or play by the same rules that other people play with. And the mission in the beginning can seem like a whimsical curiosity. So a lot of people who join my trainings on intuitive healing, they're doing it because they feel this call to learn more about intuition, to learn more about how to work oracle cards. So like I said yesterday, a lot of people who are doing oracle card readings didn't even pick a deck up before one of my trainings, right? But then they quickly they thought they were just learning because it just seemed fun. But very quickly, a lot of them learned they can blow minds and transform lives through the grace of spirit once they open themselves up as a portal to love, to deeper love, and to own this peculiarity about them that loves spiritual things. This is literally exactly what happened for me. So I was a licensed psychotherapist, just to give you a quick story to see if this applies to you, about coming out of the spiritual closet even more, coming out of the whatever closet you're in even more, to spread the message of love and truth and joy and happiness. I was a licensed psychotherapist, as many of you know, and I still am. However, so much of my work transformed into the more spiritual things, and it started with this first I witnessed a miracle and I was like, oh my God, this shit is real. And then I started listening to this inner voice, and this little inner voice started guiding me to learn more about it. So, I started investing in really weird things like intuitive healing trainings. And I first learned how to do healing work through the angels because they would come into my one-on-one sessions as a psychotherapist and they would want me to talk about that. And I'm like, I'm not talking about you guys. I'm a therapist, right? And so it was very awkward in the beginning because, like many of you, it's hard to treat these urges or nudges. Sometimes they're quieter than the tyrannical voice that is cruel, that's telling you to stay in the fucking box that was made for you. You didn't make the box. It was kind of given to you by our culture, our family, our society. So stay in the box because it's too threatening if you don't. And I remember one time I was still a psychotherapist, and the wellness center that I worked with was having an open house. And all of these practitioners were doing cool shit, like, acupuncture samplings, we're given like little 15, 20-minute taster sessions of our work. And it's like a taster session of my massage and a taster session of my acupuncture, a taster session of my, fill in the cool blank. And there I am, a freaking therapist. Who wants a taster session of psychotherapy? Okay. First of all, bore the shit out of me, right? So boring. Who's going to I'm going to sign up for that. That sounds exciting. Nobody. So I asked the angels, like, oh shoot, what do I do? Because I was still super in the closet, kind of, They're like, offer an oracle card reading. And I was like, but I'm a therapist. This has nothing to do with therapy. And so, but I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to party and I'm going to do some 15-minute, I'm just going to have fun just so I can meet people and bring some angel love. I know it doesn't connect with therapy, or I used to believe that back then, because the demons are going to tell you that it's all separate, but there's nothing separate about your spirituality and your real life. I just want to say that now. If you're still compartmentalizing, bring that shit together because it belongs together. So I start dropping down. People actually signed up for some angel oracle card readings. And I'm like, hi, I'm a licensed psychotherapist, but you want to talk to angels? So embarrassing. So yeah, I did it. And dropping the mic, right? Of course, when you put yourself out there and you're like, dude, I don't even know if this is going to work. Because at the time I was not giving professional angel readings. It was still my secret fancy, right? So many of you are still hobbyists. Quit being a hobbyist if it's what you love, okay? So I'm like, okay, this is fun, but I don't know if I could actually give readings to other people. So of course I practice on real people for the first time. in my freaking practice. Okay, so except for I did like some friend things here and there, but it was nothing serious. So, dude, angels coming through. I was dropping the mic, landing that shit left and right, and I was like celebrating in joy, like, oh my God. So you do want to be a writer? Okay, good. Whew. Thank you, angels. And so here's the thing. I brought so much magic into those people's lives. I invited them back for more sessions and for more therapy. If they're struggling, let me help you move through some of those blocks. We can look at, things in a different way. Most of those people signed up for regular sessions with me because I introduced magic to them and I lit up when I was doing this work. Why? Because I'm fucking meant to do spiritual work. I didn't know that at the time. I thought I was just a therapist. Okay. So like I'm saying to you, if you have this sneaky fancy and you think it's impractical, it might be the most practical thing you can do. It might make your income level times 10. When everyone else is laughing at you, you know who could be laughing in the end? You at their ass, because they're still sucked into some box that was still created for them and not designed by their own soul. So this is when we turn our fear, the fear of judgment, the fear of persecution, the fear of, do I have enough money to float this as I develop this business or develop this concept or develop this idea? This is when you turn those fears of, am I good enough? Can I actually step into this and do this work? Am I worthy? We talked about worthy yesterday. The answer is not just yes, but fuck yes. And so this is when we turn our fear into fierceness. You cannot be fierce if there's not an underlying fear there. And so Sandalphon is welcoming you into this lion's gate as a fierce ally to your own soul and to your deeper vision. And because here's the thing about dreams. Dreams are only fantasies until you ignite that fire and take actions based on those sneaky little things that you're dreaming of. So you want to play the game of staying afraid of your path, of your party? Or do you want to be fierce and take some risks? And there are sacrifices and risks you have to make in the beginning. But when it comes to manifesting, what do you want to manifest? And not just that, what are you willing to freaking do for it? And we have our angels and allies, but they really can't help you unless you're in motion. They can't help you get more clear unless you make choices. Because clarity does not come from sitting around in your brain figuring shit out. Clarity actually comes from making choices, taking actions, and adjusting to those choices as you discover more. I was going to say shit, yes. Okay, so let me do a little card reading before we do some more wisdom teaching, before we do some more points that Archangel Sandalphon wanted to share with you. Who is in the process of manifesting a business, some kind of soul dream like this, and would like a card reading, say me in the chat room. And okay. Everybody breathe with me as we call in Archangel Sandalphon. Let's get those fires lit up. I want you to see some fire. See like a brilliant wooden fire underneath the ground, right under your feet. So where Metatron lit up the waters inside of us yesterday to clear out the emotional debris. Archangel Sandalphon is coming in, lighting up some fire beneath your feet to help loosen up the earth, loosen up your body so that you can be a more clear channel and also have more vitality to begin taking action steps. The element of fire helps us attune to, first of all, our spirit, the great spirit. It also helps us attune to our divine masculine nature. It's fiery. It's action oriented. So if you are someone who's found yourself in stagnant waters and wants to feel the passion again, work with the element fire. So you can do it through visualization, but you can also light a candle. You can light some bonfires outside and breathe in this element. Teach me fire, how to rock fiercely as opposed to hide fearfully. Okay, so Madeline Wattis, I see you first. I'm hoping you have a spiritual business going because I'm going to design this reading to speak on this. Let's see what we come up with here. I'm going to pull a couple cards. Oh, shenanigans. Okay, so 2 cards. First, I want to show you this one because we just kind of talked about it. This is and I'm doing classical tarot. That's just what I was called to do just now. This is a 9 of Swords. It's called cruelty. So sink that in. What were we just talking about? These blocks. When I look at swords, I think of the mind only. The mind and how the thoughts in your mind are draining and sucking your blood like vampires. They're saying that these thoughts, these negative thoughts, when we pay too much attention to them, drain our vitality more than naysayers in our life. Like we are our first, excuse my French, cock blocker when it comes to seeding our dreams, when it comes to pursuing our dreams. Okay. So Madeline, my sense is for you, for all of us, we have a lot of childhood stuff we have to repair about our smallness in the world, about our voice. No one is going to speak loudly for you. Part of the things that lions do, not only are they masterful at being silent and not acting until it's time to pounce, right? They're hunters, but they're not out there growling all day long. Mostly they sleep all day until what? Until it's time. Okay. They have the energy for that because they're not filling their heads with self-doubt, with confusion, with self-sabotage. So if we have internalized these childhood messages about who we are as women, if you inhabit a female body, you have a shitload of deconstruction to do about what's possible for you. Also, spiritual work in general has been naysayed by our culture. People think it's airy-fairy, it's woo-woo, when it's literally the most powerful gift that we've been given by our creators. All of our ancestors thrived through spiritual work, through divination, through learning how to read signs, learning how to commune with spirit, how to seek guidance. And so we need to pull all of these daggers out of our minds that we're still rocking. This false humility shit has got to go. Oh, but I'm just a humble servant of God. Okay, while you're there being a humble servant of God, these other motherfuckers are taking over with their hate campaigns all over the world. Okay, because they're like into social media. They love their poison being heard. So no more false humility. It's time for all of us to stand up and be louder. So besides Besides being silent, you know what lions are good at? Roaring. So, how do you want to get your roar on? Okay? So, Madeline, how do you want to get your roar on? Where are you stopping yourself? Everybody think about this. Where are you stopping yourself from being more roarish in your path? So this is, okay, another thing, Madeline, here. And I feel this is probably true for a lot of folk. First of all, this is the priestess card. And you see that her hands up? That's the exact posture I had you guys do yesterday. Okay? Crazy. So once your cup is empty, guess what you get to do? Like the high priestess does. You call in instruction. Madeline, my sense for you, you're staying so mental about your next step. They want you to surrender the thoughts, the figuring out, and go into contemplation officially. Go into ceremony. Have a ceremony where you are the cup and your only job is to be the high priestess and to allow the divine dimension to move through you. So now they're saying that your soldiering, your mission, whatever it is you're working on, is not just for you. When you believe and understand that it is higher powers that want to work through us, you will take the time to receive the information, to create a ceremony about this. And right now they're saying this business that you guys are creating, your soul work deserves ceremony around it, ritual around it as you drum it in. Creating a nice container for this thing to get more support is great. But something else I want to say, Madeline, and for all of you, if you doubt that you are here on special, with special instructions from that which is above, you can rest assured that your visions and dreams are truly divine. Okay, you are a priestess. You are an oracle. And until we understand our roles as not just magical people, but mostly bridges between the heaven and earth, if you allow yourself to get out of the way and be the bridge, then a lot of the ego shit falls away. Our false humility, our self-doubt, those are kind of narcissistic games when you think about it. It's so self-involved when we're worried about ourselves. When we're just worried about, oh no, what's everybody going to think of me? That's narcissistic as fuck. Okay? So a lot of people think by putting your neck out there and speaking the word, whatever word you're going to speak and doing your job is so self-involved. That's why we feel shame and guilt about it. But it's not. It's the bigger work because people are suffering right now and we need more love keepers and love sharers. Okay? So Sandalphon wants to ignite the fire for all of us to get out of our own damn way and be a bridge and a channel for spirit, as opposed to feeling like it's just your heart mission. When it's coming from the heart, you guys, it really is about touching everyone else's lives and you opening up your heart so wide that you stop mattering as much. Now, when I say stop mattering, I don't mean you disappear. I just mean when we start doing the work that we're supposed to do, it feels so selfish. So as I started pursuing my dream, we want to do work. Do you want to do work that feels like work, or do you want to do work that feels beautiful? And yeah, it's still challenging. But when it starts feeling like play, that's when you're finally getting somewhere. So what is the most delicious, playful thing that you can offer? And how would you go about doing that? Hey, Spirit, how would you like to move through me in this project? Hey, Spirit, what is the highest and best way and the best next step for me to be a beautiful funnel for your love and medicine? Okay. So part of taking sacred action is getting clear on not totally the future, but getting clear on at least your next step. So Madeline, your task right now, your big task is to get the negative voices or just step them aside for a little bit, create a ceremony around, if you don't have a clear vision yet, create a ceremony around dreaming in that vision. And if you have this vision and you're at a stopping place, create a ceremony around what's my next step to fulfill the divine's dream through me. Because a lot of heart-centered people, we have a hard time making it about ourselves. So I found the best way for me to get out of my own way is to remember that I'm here in service to this higher power and also to the people who are meant to discover my medicine, whatever medicine I bring. And when I keep it about the higher power or the people I'm meant to serve, then I have a sneaky way of making shit happen. Okay. And from that first oracle card reading shit to now, I've made a lot of crazy stuff happen. Okay. A couple books, online businesses, intuitive healing trainings, a retreat center in Shasta. I would not have been able to do that if I kept it about me, because I'm not my own best motivation. I'm not motivated by me whatsoever. Like I would, I am, but only if I have some things to serve, like my children. They help me stay alive, right? You guys inspired me to create beautiful parties to invite you to. So hopefully that helps. Your right associations is also important. Be in communities that understand your work. Often our friends or our family aren't going to understand. Trust. Sorry, they're talking to me right now. The only way to fully learn to trust yourself is through action. Starts with little actions in the beginning. But any action is better than no action at all, especially when you receive this nudge to do something. You receive this inspired idea. So a lot of roadblocks, of course, is money and time. Money and time, that's what stops most people from really having a business with legs. And I'm here to say, if you have a spiritual business, an oracle card business, you just love the idea of oracle cards, but you can't see that it could ever pay off, truly think again. Think again. Please think again. Like, for real, please think again. But you need stuff to make it happen. You need strategy. You need serious roar power. You need a lot of fierceness to break through the fear and to be in the face, flying the face of what our society, culture, and families are trying to tell us to do. Sovereignty, that's what that means. You listen to who you are and not who you were taught to be. Let's feel that fire again. Anybody feeling any warmth under your feet, in your body? We invite Archangel Sandalphon to come in closer to us right now, help inspire us and invigorate us. Burn through the clouds, the mental clouds, to help us get that clear step. Bring your fire inside of us to give us that audacity that we need to take fierce action, fierce, aligned action. So manifesting is one part intention and many parts your actions, your choices. And ain't nobody going to tell you what to do. If you're doing this work, it comes from you. And invest in education, in trainings, in mentorship. Spend money. clearly would never have spent on yourself before, because that's what I had to do. I had to start spending money on weird stuff, you know, that I didn't know about, like marketing classes. Pretty much the polar opposite of anything I ever thought I would ever take classes in. This is the gargoyles. You don't know who you are until you start moving in those directions and learning. Turns out I freaking love marketing because the angels taught me that marketing is just giving invitations to beautiful people and inviting them to beautiful things. Like, oh, no doy. Okay, thanks. Bring in the fire. So I want you to make your intention, make your prayer to Sandalphon, send it down into this fire. Send it down into this fire that is a portal connecting directly to the creator of all that is, to our highest aspect of our soul, making contact with that part of our soul. So everybody take a deep breath and send your prayer. And breathe ablaze with inspiration. Set that intention. And now we're going to ask our spirit team, the creator of all that is, to whisper something in our hearts, to whisper an action step that is going to take us closer to our wildest dream. Because without this action step, your dream remains a fantasy. And it will never, ever come to be if you keep it in dream world and you don't rock your fierceness, you don't rock your roar, and you don't engage the masculine part of you, the mover and the shaker, to make some cool stuff happen. Your magic super comes. Your magic starts flowing when you start taking action, especially if you're taking actions in the pocket, in the flow of who you are. So yesterday, again, we talked about silence, being patient. Once you get that instruction, the more you wait, the more stagnant things become, the more you suffer. So you get that instruction. You're not sure if it's right or wrong. It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. There's only one way to test that out. You do it. You start moving in that direction, and you let nothing stop you. You best believe that if a lion finally understands what its prey is for that day, it doesn't start and then go, well, I wonder if that's the right thing to eat. I don't wonder if that's the right thing to hunt. That lion isn't stopping for shit. The fire, the hunger, the starvation moves him to the kill, to the hunt. Your empty belly that is starving for something deeper, something more purposeful, something more delicious, it's real hunger. It's just a matter of if you're going to keep starving yourself and eating everyone else's food that's like stale Wonder Bread with an expired can of fucking tuna, or your food. Nobody knows what your food is except for you, but it says delicious inspirations. Sometimes it has nothing to do with the business at first. It's just fun. It's just fun. So follow the fun. No more stale ass expired tuna sandwiches. Jesus Christ. Seriously, stop. This is where you just gotta I'm a fucking lion. Okay? I don't care if this fails. I don't care. I'm tired of eating stale sandwiches. I will invest in myself. I will take some time. I will. As opposed to, can I? Should I? Who are you asking permission for? We have to stop asking permission from our partners, from anyone. The guilt is going to take us down when we start making behaviors that are different than usual changes, usual choices that we make. What is your first step? So I'm going to do one more little card pull for you guys. Again, if you're feeling particularly inspired, particularly lit up, I want to pull a card for you. So say yes in the chat room. If you are pursuing something that is a dream that you might be halfway through, or you're trying to up level your business, okay, so again, I'm using, let's see here, Danny. I just saw your name flash here. So Danny. Hi. My name's Corinne. So let's pull a card. Danny's going to be our portal, and whatever reading comes through is for all of us. So, hi, Danny. Ooh, oh snap. Okay. So, just so you know, I happen to know this card a little bit. Viracocha. I'll go ahead and read some of this. Viracocha. In the Peruvian traditions, Viracocha was the creator of all that is. And he took his breath and he breathed life into the people. And this card said, actually, honor the light. Honor the light. Again, we're talking about fire. We're talking about the source, the creator of all that is, and the fire. So this fire that breathes life, that essentially respires through you, Danny. They're asking for all of us. When you get consumed with, is this the right thing? Is this the wrong thing? To go to the source, go to the creator. And they're giving me this, it's almost like a prayer. And let's do this. Let's commit to at least this today, is to call in the creator and celebrate the creator. Oh, I'm so thankful. Danny, they're saying that part of your practice right now is to remember and to connect with your source on this. Also, Viracocha is masculine. So it is about action. And now he's talking about fired up action. He's gifting all of us he's saying you are little creators. I give you my fire. I give you my breath. Therefore, you are creators. And so now he's showing me with you with a lump of clay and breathing life into something. And so I just feel like this just kind of validates some of the previous chat that we had today about letting yourself be that funnel, as if spirit, which respiration, inspiration, spirit is one of the root words in those. You are a vessel, vehicle for spirit. But thank you, creator. Every time your mind goes negative or thinks limitation, thank you, creator. Guide me. Help me stay fierce. Help me be fierce. Help me get clarity, or quit pretending like I don't have clarity because I'm too afraid of taking the steps. Help me quit being afraid of making powerful choices that may head in the wrong direction. help me make more choices that helps me sacrifice, help me roar louder in life. Help me get my roar on. Rawr. I don't care who's listening. You're going to hear me roar. You might hate me for that roar. I don't care, because it's none of my business what you feel about me. I'm here for the creator. I'm here for the spirit. I'm here for the fire that lives within me, that lives inside of my heart, that lives under my feet, and that is moving me along a certain path. Roar. Everybody say it with me. I'm going to roar. Roar. Ooh, hot damn. Picked another one for you, Danny. And I'm just going to say, this is a spirit of the warrior, okay? That, my friend, is about the roar, about the fierceness. And something I want to say is, I hate to break the news to you, but we are in a war right now. So this war, depending on which side you choose, is one of beauty, color, and transformation. The side of the war that you can be on is receptive, loving, and that which spreads color, that unites all color, and that transforms. That white butterfly, yesterday we had a yellow one. This white butterfly is a transformation of your divine wisdom, to move with wisdom, and it's a gift from our mother to gift us all and give to you with deeper wisdom. So I say all of us, all of you guys over these last 2 days, big allies coming through as far as animal allies, lion, okay? You need some fierceness, lion, and the butterfly, transformation towards being that warrior of love, of color, of might. And so today, go into ceremony, ask, be the cup. Your waters were cleared yesterday. Be the cup. What's my inspiration? Give me my next steps. You're in charge here, they're saying. This white butterfly represents your own divine genius, they're saying. Quit displacing your power onto others. Your best answers always come inside, always come from inside. So, you guys, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. This one was a little spicy. Hopefully this helps you guys on the steps of manifesting. The secrets to manifesting, what are they? Turning fear into fierceness, understanding. The biggest roadblock is only you, this mind, this cruelty, this mental stuff. When you're feeling overly stagnant, but you got some good ideas, do what you can. Light the fire, work with fire. Make choices daily, even small choices that move the needle in a direction of more abundance, of health, of love, of inspiration, of fun, because often those things lead you to a life that's beyond your wildest dreams, but no one else is going to give you permission. You have to give permission to yourself. So, love you all. Ugh. Okay. Thank you, Sandalphon. Keep talking to Sandalphon, you guys. Dropping your intentions down and helping him light up your inner fires. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, okay? 10 a.m. Pacific. We're going to rock this party. The last day, the juicy day, and we'll see what happens. We'll see you mañana.